Hey, muy buenos dias, everyone. I hope everybody's doing well, blessed, and enjoying family this day. Bueno, mi gente, I'm getting new recordings out there for you guys, but I wanted to share this one. I sent it to be put on that other message, on that other channel, excuse me, but just never got around, I guess. But I wanted to be here. It's kind of a little history on what I endured or saw while I was in county jail fighting my case. Again, I want to backtrack and tell my whole story again from start up into the ending I shared with you guys. So I hope this one could actually bring another small glimpse to the look inside on how all these organizations, in reality, it's all the same thing, which it comes down to greed, money, and getting high. With this said, gracias mi gente for everything again. I send my love. Great day. And before I start off, muchísimas gracias to everyone for you guys' words and most importantly, you guys' prayers. They mean a lot. They really do. Gracias. Well, to get into the story on here, I want to continue off a little bit on what I was talking on my last video, which was when they had, when 187 happened in the county or in the city, and they were taking them to court, and there was quite a few of them that got pulled back. As I mentioned in my last one, I became real cool with little Jimmy, Richard, amongst others. For example, Ome and Guerra. For those that were in the mix in the early 90s, late 90s, you guys know who I'm talking about. But anyways, on this story I want to touch on how you can't win with these individuals. It's always a losing game with them. It don't matter what you do, how much you do, or nothing. At the end of the day, if it don't satisfy their needs, you just you just taking space. And for this, I want to touch on a real cool handball partner I had. And it was in the beginning of '97. He was doing some county time, and remember we used to come out to the handball, and that was me. I was still a young buck, so I was hyperactive, so I was constantly playing handball, working out, and we always tag team against little Jimmy and a partner. But Jason was a cool dude, but he was just as I was. Once I hit CDC, he was striving to look good in an oveja's eyes. So he was gonna do a year flat in county, and his time was coming to get out under probation and hit the streets. And as all of us dummies, usually we get out with a bunch of promises and to take care of a lot of issues. Little Jimmy was from the area, so he knew exactly where to direct Jason to do his thing, which was, he was supposed to clip someone out there and clip him good, and in that time come back to the county with something to show for. Besides him touching whoever he needed to touch on the streets and put something in their bags so that it eventually lead back to them. So again, here's a young buck ready to go all the way, lose his freedom, just to follow orders. And even though I used to think Jimmy was a cool dude, he wasn't deserving of it. Because at the end of the day, all those big organizations, they're motivated by greed. Me, and only me. But anyways, Jason got out and he went and he pulled the lick and he got what he was gonna get. And he got that issue that had to get into the hands on the streets. And before he got busted, he just got busted within the situation that he couldn't pack himself up to hit the county. If you guys get what I'm trying to say. So even though he did things as accordingly on the street, he still hit the county jail. Not the way he was supposed to go. But there was still not big enough means to press an issue on homeboy. But again, Jimmy was an abeja, and then Richard was a big old dope fiend. So they weren't even tripping on them on the streets getting their issue. They were tripping on what got brought back to me, para curar la vena. And once they seen that they weren't gonna do that, they weren't gonna get it. Excuse me. They they opted to start pushing for the removal, of Jason. And for a while there was pushback. There was pushback. Homeboy did what he had to do. Then I don't know, maybe a month or so, then paperwork surfaced that I guess the instead of Jason taking an appropriate gun to put to push on these cats, he took what was a pellet gun or a BB gun, one of them two. And in the eyes of, of the abejas that were there, he was on a mission for them. So he was representing them, which it's it's well known if you're in the mix. If you're gonna get out there and represent these guys, you gotta do it accordingly, or you're gonna get dealt accordingly. And that goes at least for the M and the abejas. I could tell you that's the way it goes. But nevertheless, he was being put under someone's wing, and they weren't allowing it for a while. At this time, Jason was an APOT. Some issue had occurred with the 415s and APOT, so Jimmy and a few others and myself had got caught up in that, and we had been sent to the hole and then shot to B pod. But I guess Jason got into it. Just a little backlash from the issues that happened when we were there, and anyways, he went to AdSeg, and then he came back to B pod where we were at, and once he got there, it was just all bad. At first it started that homeboy started bullying Jason. Wouldn't allow him to play games, play handball. He was disciplined supposedly, and he was to stand out yard and work out while he was out of the cell. And there wasn't no set time. It was till he said so, and nobody could tell him different. But I guess pride comes in, and he felt that Jason had left them bound in a much bigger scale than what he was receiving. They're gods and they can be touched, or they can't. They just can't. You can't fail them, period. You see it now more so than back then, which is, even though you pull a mission, you best pull it to how it's being told to you, or even though you go through it, you still didn't meet the means, so you're out too. But anyways, this is actually one of the first times that I seen it in this type of aspect. And I was a young buck. I didn't know better. I was still wet behind the ears. I was just an knucklehead. I used to like chaos. At this time you know, I was a young vato. Usually, which everyone at this age that I was thinks, we're made of steel and we can you can ramp through everything when in reality, there ain't nothing we know but what we're being told to know, We hold no backbone, But anyways, so time came and little Jimmy, one time we were outside just conversating. I was there, just like just side busting to be sincere, just a kid amongst grown people's conversations, just hearing, and I was hearing them discuss, what they should do with Jason, and they were asking the Pili Guerra for a type of advice, and what's more so always said amongst them, if it's bothering you that much, you know, remove them, deal with it. You know the steps you gotta take where nobody could actually speak about it no more, So, at this time I'm like, all right, whatever, they're gonna deal with it, let them deal with it, But it was the first time that I actually seen that you can't trust nobody in the system, period, Because they could literally sit down and they used to call me hood rat in the county. And he used to tell me, little Jimmy, like, little hood rat, stay away from all this because only the strong survive. And when I mean this is, you gotta always come out the strongest in everything, period. If not, he was the one that gave me that advice, keep your head down, put your looks on, and mind your business. That's it. No, which I never learned. But anyways, so after a while, I guess Jason got tired and he just pulled little Jimmy to the side. And little Jimmy, he was pretty good at fading, cutting hair. So he was up in there cutting somebody's hair. So Jason went up in there and he had been told, he's out his cell. He used to be on the yard working out, period. No hot water, nada. Just get out there and handle your business till I tell you it's over. But he stopped and he went over there to talk to him, I guess, whatever he was gonna say, I'll make up for it or I don't know. But I guess, little Jimmy wasn't having it, He took one out of the playbook from them, from all them big organizations, Billy, NFers, Abejas, etc., And he used the clippers and he started going to town, Remember we're sitting down in the day room and you could actually see the room where they're cutting hair and Homer went to town on Jason, And at the end of the day, nobody could tell him anything. Because when push came to shove, all he said was, Homeboy disrespected me and I am who I am. I had to handle business. Which we all knew was a lie. He had it out for Jason since the gate because the bottom line was he didn't come in the county packed with jale for them, to feed their main. And you can't. You could do a lot of things to Atecato, but you can't mess with their vitamins. So that sealed his doom, F him getting out to the street, following what he's told to the dot, you know, touching their mesa on the street with what he needed to touch. Just didn't have the time to pack himself and turn himself in, and that's all that mattered at the end of the day. You didn't bring me what I told you to. What do I gain from you giving the mesa anything, right? And it's just that simple. So for all those that are on the streets thinking like, oh, I met, however you want to call him, Billy, Senor, Carnal, Legend, whatever title you want to put on them. You met one that was cool at some point, thinking they're gonna maintain cool with you. That don't happen. It's real rare. It's real rare that you maintain a camarada and you actually make it up there. You have to be one of them covering up for them and that would be, the main thing. You would have to do everything not only to the dot, but be able to cover up for them the way they want you to. Period. Because there's a lot that goes on that a lot don't see. Eyes don't see. Ears hear, but the ones that hear, it's among them, and you will never hear of it. I'll tell you that much. But, Jason was a cool dude again. My respects. Before this incident, I used to think little Jimmy was a cool dude. He used to always clown. He used to look through my case and give me advice. And old man Richard, we used to work out together to somewhat, because old man had some wing. He had been in the shoe for a while, and I was in county jail. I was just again a kid, excuse me, thinking that I could hold my ground amongst grown men. But it's just the way we're all raised. We're all raised to feed our ego and get caught up in situations that in reality we don't know. And I say this with all due respect, for the youngsters doing their thing. In no way, shape, or form am I trying to disrespect your wiggling again. I'm not here for it and against it. For all those still in it and keep pushing. But for those that still got time, man, there ain't nothing in it. Take it from a dumb butt that I thought by me doing what I did on the streets, hitting county, I was going to hold some type of respect. I was quick showing that and work like that. What you do on the streets stays on the streets. And after sacrifice, at the end, I was showing that it don't mean squat. They are who they are and they're going to continue to be who they are. You as a camarada in their eyes means, I'm your God, you do as I say, period. That's exactly how things look, right? Not only for camaradas, for all raza, period. Norteños, bulldogs, now even paisas and ABs and the brothers to a certain extent. But again, I'm not here to spread poison either or. I'm just hoping that not the physical pain I went through, but the pain that really sticks with you that I went through could be used to guide someone from hitting a brick wall. Because in reality, I stand here and I'm going through it health wise, God knows why. I might not be here too long, but I was one of the lucky ones. Yes, I got stabbed, but it has not been for a removal, for a checada, none of that. It's been for something that's supposed to be frowned upon and it's always supposed to be frowned upon, which was carnal bumping heads with another carnal, and I was just a camarada that got put in situations that at the end of the day was sureño against sureño at the end of the day. And shoot time, having to hurt loved ones, because I had some really close camaradas, and at the end of the day, they used me to hurt them, hurt my family. Just be wise, be smart, as I always say. But anyways, mi gente, I apologize. If I'm not too clear right now. Again, I have a very big day tomorrow, and I'm not gonna say, that I have fear of it being it, and I'm not gonna say I don't, because I do to some sense. For those that gone through, organ failure, I've gone through two head attacks. I'm semi-paralyzed from my left side. I had thrombosis in my lungs, my liver's failing. Had a heart attack in April. At the same time, that thrombosis in my lungs were hitting. And for those that have gone through something like that or are familiar with it, it's a horrible way to fucking go, man. I ain't scared of death, but I am scared of the way it's gonna happen. So we'll see, and hopefully you guys will hear for me again with some positive news. But before I go again, allow me to say muchísimas gracias a todos for your words, your prayers, and for your time to express them. I hope I made a really little glimpse on how it don't matter what race we are, man. As long as we give this type of individuals power, there's always gonna be the little man's getting stomped out. The one that does all the work, but the one that never gets credit, right? But again, be smart, be wise, stay true to those that are true to you, period. I would say family, but there's a lot of good people that really love you if you really open your eyes to it, those. So stay true to yourself and loyal to your loved ones. Muchísimas gracias y muy buenas noches. Que descansen.